viewers from different parts of the world, greetings. My name is Msimbe Constantine. I am a geography teacher, and this is ETETA TV, live from Morogoro in Tanzania. Today, we continue with our presentation series, and today we are going to solve national examination question that appeared in 2020, and it was question number 10. The question reads, explain 4 pre-survey activities to be considered before conducting survey. That was NECTA 2020, and it was question number 10. Now basically this question has 3 parts as usual. Part A of the question, it should be introductory remarks. That means a student has to define correctly the concept of pre-survey activities. And part B of the question will be a main body where the students will work out on various pre-survey activities that are conducted before conducting survey. And lastly, the student will give a concluding remarks by showing that is the conclusion part of the question. So basically, pre-survey activity can be defined as a surveying activity that is conducted before the actual surveying process. That means before conducting the actual surveying process, whether it is a plain table survey, whether it is a prismatic compass, whether it is a chain survey, just before the actual surveying process, the activities that are going to be conducted there is what we call pre-survey activities. That means pre means before. So pre-survey activities are those activities that are conducted before the actual surveying process. Now basically they are determined by the surveying technique that is going to be used or that is going to be applied. As I said, whether it is plain table survey or chain survey or prismatic compass. So basically pre-survey activity is just determined by the technique that is going to be used. Yes. Now, after defining the question, now the student should give the pre-survey activity that are going to be considered. Now, the following are the pre-survey activity that are going to be considered before the actual survey. Number 1, identification of the area to be surveyed. That means the area to be surveyed should first be identified. Then from there you can be able, where am I going to conduct survey? That means identify the area that is going to be surveyed first. Here the area has to be identified early so as a survey activity will be conducted. The area should be identified so that the survey activity is going to be conducted smoothly. So it can be a rural or urban area depending on the purpose of the surveyor, the choice of the surveyor. Where does this surveyor want to conduct the survey? So it depends whether it can be in the rural area or in the urban area. But that area where survey is going to take place should first be identified by the surveyor. Number 2, after identifying the area to be surveyed, the surveyor has to prepare the tools, preparation of the survey tools. Preparation of the survey tools. Basically, these are the tools, techniques that are going to be used in the collecting of information during the surveying process. This is what we call preparation of the survey tools. Now, the surveyor has to identify and prepare the tools that are going to be used in the surveying process. And basically, these tools are going to be prepared depending on the techniques that is going to be used. Whether if this survey is going to be a plain table survey, or a chain survey, or a prismatic compass survey, the techniques that are going, the techniques are going to be prepared accordingly. That means according to the tools are going to be prepared accordingly. That means according to the technique itself. So that is a very important idea. That means the surveyor should prepare survey tools that are going to be used in the collection of information during the surveying process. And the choice of the tools depends on what type of survey is to be carried out. The tools also may depend on what type of survey is going to be carried out. That means the surveyor has to prepare the tools according to the type of survey that is going to be prepared. That is number 2. Number 3, preparation of the survey team. The surveyor has to prepare survey team just before going to the field to conduct survey. The survey team has to be prepared. Now, the survey team, basically, these are people who are going to be who are going to assist the surveyor in the surveying process. Or these are people who are going to be, who are going to help in the survey process. This is what we call the survey team. And basically, this may include the booker, the one who is taking booking process, who record the information, the follower, and what we call the chain man. But also, as we said, the survey teams also is identified depending on the techniques that is going to be used. So preparation of the survey team is another important pre-survey activity that has to take place. And again, usually the survey teams help in the activities like carrying out of the instruments and fixing out of the pegs. Carrying those instruments that are used in the surveying process, whether it is a chain or arrows or pegs, but also these survey teams are essential in fixing out of the pegs in the field during the process. But again, another activity is conducting reconnaissance. Conducting reconnaissance. That means another pre-survey activity is conducting of reconnaissance. What is reconnaissance? Reconnaissance refers to this is what we call the rough survey. If you define, this is just like a rough survey which is conducted before the actual surveying process. That is what we call reconnaissance. So this involves the paying of a short visit. It involves paying of short visit to the area to be surveyed before the actual surveying process. That is reconnaissance. Just before commencing surveying process, before the date of performing survey, the surveyor should first visit the area where survey is going to take place. This is what we call reconnaissance, and it is done before the actual surveying process. And this is where now the surveying takes place. This will help the surveyor to have full information about the area where surveying takes place before the actual surveying period. Now, reconnaissance will help the surveyor to understand fully about that area where surveying process is going to take place. And by so doing, automatically, it is this process which help now to identify obstacles or suitable surveying process that may take place in that particular area. By visiting before, the surveyor will understand the obstacles, or if there are critical challenges in the area where survey is likely to take place. These one are going to be identified just before, and the surveyor will now become familiar with that area just before the actual period of conducting survey. Another one is preparation of survey schedule or framework or timetable. That means survey schedule, here the surveyor will have to create or to prepare a framework or the timetable with regard to the activities that are going to take place. When will the survey start and when will it end? And which activities that are going to take place in each period of time. Here is what we call the survey schedule. This involves the planning of the general activities that will be carried out during the surveying activities. It will also focus on the time frame where surveying activities will be conducted. Yes. So the time frame, how many days or weeks does the survey will take place? So under this concept, the surveyor will have to familiarize with that one. But another issue is preparation of capital. The surveyor has to prepare capital. How much money, whether it is a money or money power, it depends. How much is going to be spent in order to accomplish that particular surveying process? So preparation of capital focus on how much is going to be spent in the surveying exercise. The funds that are also used in the preparation of various surveying tools, because survey tools, some of them are to be purchased in the market, maybe in the market. So you should, as a surveyor, has to determine how much is going to be spent in surveying exercise. That is, again, very, very important idea. But again, preparation of the report to the respective authority after visiting that area. You have, as a surveyor, has to prepare a report, and that report should be submitted to the authority that is intended to collect that information. So the survey team must produce information to the entire authority of the targeted area so as to conduct such activity smoothly and correctly. That means provision of information. But another activity is having full information about survey. Having full information about survey. That is talking about the knowledge. That means the person who wants to conduct survey should be knowledgeable enough about surveying techniques, because this will help also in the effective option or effective ways of opting specific technique that has to be used, but also this goes simultaneously with the choice of the tools that are going to be used in the surveying process. So under this concept, it talks about the knowledge of the surveyor. The surveyor should be knowledgeable. And after there now, the students should be able to give a concluding remark, and he or she may conclude by writing, generally, the survey has both positive and negative impacts in our daily environment. For example, it can provide advice to the farmers on what type of crop are to be produced in a particular piece of land, depending on the mapped soil survey. And it may also it can also be threat to the well-being of the society who have a negative attitude about the surveying activities or about those surveyors. Now, thank you abundantly for watching this video, Sir Edgar MC. Thank you very much.